Welcome to the Swords to Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Swords to Podcast. My name is Thomas.
And my name is Adam. We have a very special announcement for you today. We will be coming to MagicCon Atlanta. So this is going to be our MagicCon preview episode. We're going to be going over some of the decks that we're bringing. We're going to be going over some of the preview panels and events we're doing, as well as some of the ticketed play things we're doing. We're also going to talk about kind of what we're excited for at this MagicCon, and just overall what our thoughts are going into MagicCon Atlanta.
All right, so let's get right into the decks then. And my first deck that I'm bringing is going to be Uzuri, Claw of Progress. Now, this is my favorite deck, my little brainchild. Uzuri is 2 mana and Simic, so 4 mana for a 3/3 legendary Phyrexian elf warrior. And he reads, whenever a creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you get an experience counter. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, put X 1/1 counters on another target creature you control, where X is the number of experience counters you have. Now, the important thing here is that, 1, experience counters are on you. So if something happens to Uzuri, you'll still keep your experience counters. And those counters can go on other creatures, but not Uzuri. And so the whole idea here, it's Simic, it's Proliferate, it's 1/1 counters, right? It's really nothing crazy. So the whole strategy here, early game, we want to ramp up, so we'll play cards like Rishkar, Pamina Renegade, and Jiang Yangu Wildcrafter, who's actually a powerhouse, to give all our creatures the ability to tap for mana that have the 1/1 counters, since we're going to be spreading the love and proliferating. Once they get big enough, we're going to want them to be able to hit opponents, so we'll throw in Kodama of the West Tree, and similar cards to give them trample, or we can, even better, Herald the Secret Streams, Champion of Lambhole, give them unblockable. And that is going to be the primary way that we want to win here. Now, there are 2 cards that are win cons if we happen to draw them. It's going to be Simic Ascendancy. You would be surprised at how quickly we can get this bad boy up to 20 counters for the win. And Sage of Hours is, kind of obvious. That's going to be your infinite extra turns once you get your 5 experience counters. And then Giggling Skitter Spike is kind of like an all-star in this deck, because a lot of cards that can target, and just once you get in big enough, that can wipe out the entire board in one go, which is awesome. And my favorite part about this deck is it plays a lot of really unique protection spells, and those are going to be stuff like Ripples of Potential, Mutational Advantage, and Silk Guard, which do stuff to protect all of your modified creatures, and since we're putting 1/1 counters on them, they're all going to be modified. So I really love this deck. It really just is like a powerhouse through and through, as you can expect from Simic, right? All right, so with that, let's move into my second deck, and that is going to be Abdel Adrian Gorian's Ward plus Candlekeep Sage as my background. So Abdel Adrian is 4 and a white for a 4/4 legendary human warrior, which reads, when Abdel Adrian enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you control until Abdel Adrian leaves the battlefield, and then create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each permanent exiled this way. And Candlekeep Sage, the background, gives your commander creatures, whenever this creature enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. So you guessed it, it's a blink deck in Azorius, right? So unique here. So a lot of the strategy revolves around getting some of our big combo enablers, such as Glorious Protector, Restoration Angel. A lot of these cards that when they ETB, they let you exile another creature, so we can kind of get these loops going. I sprung for not adding stuff like Flicker Wisp and cards like that make you wait until the end of the turn to return them. I wanted like pure Flicker, instantaneous. That's what I went for with this one, which is why it turned into a bit of a bracket 4 type of deck. And some of the big finishers, the really big pieces of the combos, is going to be your cards like Cloud of Fairies, Peregrine Drake. It's going to untap your lands to help you keep it going, paired with cards like Salvager of Secrets, Archaeomancer, and similar, which will let you return your Flicker spells back to your hand. We also run some other cards. Solemn Simulacrum, I know that's Adam's favorite, but it really is like pretty crazy in this deck. Stuff like Spirited Companion to get some card draw early game. So it is a lot of fun. Maybe not to play against, but I'm the one that gets to pilot it, so I think it's a lot of fun. So the final deck that I will be bringing is going to be my CEDH deck. And this is a little different than probably what you've seen in the meta, what a lot of people are playing. A little old school. It's going to be the first Sliver. So this is a food chain deck. So first Sliver costs Wooburg, and it has Cascade. And it gives all of your slivers Cascade. And what Cascade is whenever you cast this spell, reveal cards off the top of your library until you exile a non-land card, and you may cast it without paying its mana cost, put the rest on the bottom. So the main combo line here is obviously going to be your food chain. And to get to that, I also love to joke that this is basically a tutor tribal, right? We're running every tutor that's not terrible. And in order to get them going as quick as possible, since it is a turbo deck, we run like rituals, we run all our cheap rocks, and we have some fun cards too, like Extract and Entomb, since to go along that main food chain line, it's going to be Squee the Immortal and Eternal Scourge. I'm not running Miss Tallow Griffin, too expensive, I don't love it, but these two of the three cards that in the game that let you cast them from exile, and Squee lets you go from graveyards, so that is why those Entomb types of cards can actually work as well. And there are a few different win lines, but my favorite one is going to be your Lava Belly Sliver, which Sliver creatures have whenever this creature enters, deals a damage to a target opponent. So once you get your food chain line going, infinitely sacrificing and recasting Squee, netting infinite mana or Eternal Scourge. And then you can do the same thing with your commander, cascade through your entire deck, get your Lava Belly Sliver, and continue to infinitely sacrifice and recast your commander and ping out the entire board. We're also, as some alternate combo lines, we are running Thoracle and your Demonic Consultation or Tainted Pact. And then finally, of course, we have our Breach, Brain Freeze lines as well. So that is an overview of my decks that I am planning to bring. Adam, would you like to take it away?
Absolutely. I'll start with my CEDH deck, and it is Plagon, Lord of the Beach. So this is like one of Thomas's non-CEDH decks. This is an Azorius Blink deck. I've built mine sort of along the path of generic Azorius good stuff. So it's got all the stuff like Esper Sentinel, Mystic Remora, Ristic Study, all the good, and Smothering Tithe, all the good Azorius cards you'd expect to see in this deck. But it's also playing different stacks pieces such as Scheming Fence and Drannith Magistrate. And it's also playing Voice of Victory as a very large protection piece. It's essentially a silence on a creature. Now, the way Plagon reads is when Plagon enters the battlefield, you draw a card for each creature you control with toughness greater than its power. So he allows me to, he gives me essentially a flicker outlet that once I get Displacer Kitten on the battlefield or any other kind of blink effects, I can flicker Plagon to draw multiple cards. The whole goal of the deck is just to kind of sit around, play defensive, ramp as hard as you can in Azorius, get, a value engine like Ristic Study or Mystic Remora on the table, and then flicker Plagon in the meantime to protect him and protect the board, and then essentially go for one large storm turn where I draw the majority of the deck and then win with combo lines with Altar of the Brood and Hullbreaker Horror and any of my mana positive mana rocks, as well as Blind Obedience. You can use that to extort the table, stuff like that. The deck is not very good. It's definitely not a tier 1 deck, as I'm sure any of you CDH players watching or listening to this will know. But he is a pet card of mine, and I initially started by making him a bracket 3. He turned into a bracket 4, and I realized there's no way to make a bracket 4 Plagon deck fun for the table, so I just elevated him to bracket 5, and now I lose a lot of games with Plagon, but he's still a lot of fun. And my other deck is technically a bracket 3, but it is able to play up or down depending on what opening hands I keep and how many tutors I have, and it is the Most Dangerous Gamer. Now, this is a Golgari Artifacts themed deck. The way it works is it uses the Most Dangerous Gamer's ability, as well as the abilities of a lot of other cards from the Infinity set, to create a bunch of attractions which act as artifacts. So the Most Dangerous Gamer is 2 in black and green for a 2/2 with Death Touch, and when he enters the battlefield or attacks, I open an attraction. Now, he also has a side ability that whenever I open an attraction, I put a 1/1 counter on the Most Dangerous Gamer. So there's also a slight Voltron sub-theme. I have a lot of the cards like Nettle Cyst that allow me to pump the gamer for each artifact that I have on the battlefield. There's also equipments and things like Blade of Selves, which is this lovely Secret Lair version. This Blade of Selves gives a creature Myriad, so I can essentially put this on the Most Dangerous Gamer, and then whenever he attacks, I make more copies of the gamer, which make more attractions enter, which make the original gamer bigger. The deck, like I said, it's mainly artifacts with a slight Voltron sub-theme, but I also have all of the Tron lands, and this is one that I'd like to bring to your attention, Urza's Workshop. It is a juiced up Urza's land that, if I have Metalcraft, allows me to tap for a colorless for each Urza's land I control. So the deck is chock full of all the good non-basic land tutors to help me find the Urza's lands, and then those Urza's lands help me power out other artifact-based strategies. Another pet card of the deck is Radiant Lotus. So this is a 6-mana artifact from Aether Drift that I can tap and sacrifice 1 or more artifacts, and then I can choose a color and add 3 mana of the chosen color for each artifact sacrificed this way. So this allows me to take all the attractions that I open that aren't very good and essentially turn them into Black Lotuses, which is really cool. Oftentimes I'll throw that down turn 4 or 5 and it turns into just some absolutely crazy explosive mana. And then the last card I want to talk about is Hall of Mirrors. This is an attraction that obviously I'm sure most of you won't know what it does because it's an attraction and nobody plays them. So this card reads that whenever I visit it, I can choose a target creature I control, and each other creature I control becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn, except it isn't legendary if the chosen creature is legendary. So this deck often has me making small incidental creatures, whether it's the enter the battlefield, open an attraction cards from Infinity, or tokens, or small mana dorks and things like that. And so what happens is when the Hall of Mirrors comes out and I visit it, I get to turn all those small incidental creatures into copies of the Most Dangerous Gamer. And because those creatures were already on the battlefield, they typically don't have summoning sickness. So I can attack with them all the same combat the combat on the same turn that I get to visit the Hall of Mirrors. So when I do that, all of the gamer's attack triggers happen, and I open 5 or 6 attractions, and then all of my copies of my commander get +5/+5 or +6/+6 immediately. So it turns into a pseudo overrun type of effect on an attraction that no one ever sees coming. And I think that's just a super, super fun little bit of tech for the deck. The Most Dangerous Gamer is my pet deck, and I do have a bunch of cards in this deck that I will be hopefully getting signed if I can while at this MagicCon. There's a lot of artists that have drawn the art for the cards in this deck, so I'm really excited to hopefully do that, and maybe we'll talk about those a little bit later. But those are the 2 decks that I will be bringing.
Yeah, I will say from experience, playing against the Most Dangerous Gamer is a lot of fun. It's a really cool deck. Not the worst one that he's built. But no, it really is interesting. Hey, attractions. I don't know if you guys have tapped in too much to the Infinity, but that is a really, really cool set. A lot of fun cards out of there, and so I'm glad that we can at least show some love. So thank you, Adam, for that. Now, would you like to move on and talk about some of the places that our viewers maybe might find us at the con, or stuff that you guys can look forward to seeing us, posting about? Because we will, trust me, we'll be active while we're there. We'll keep you guys updated on everything that we're doing. But we have signed up for 2 ticketed play events, which we are very excited for. The first of which is going to be on Friday, at 4:30, and it is Mystery Booster 2 sealed. So we'll read the descriptions of some of the things that we're going to. There's not really too much here. It's just uncover the mystery of your best deck in this 3-round Mystery Booster 2 sealed event. So it's basically, like going to a pre-release. You get, like, what is it, 5 or 6 booster packs. You get 60 minutes to build your little 40 card, sealed deck, and 3 rounds, just like any pre-release would be. But we're doing it with Mystery Booster 2, which I'm very excited for. It is such a unique little, I don't know if you could call it a set. Adam, you might be able to help me here on a better way to categorize what Mystery Booster 2 is exactly. But how are you feeling kind of heading up to our very first ticketed play event?
Well, this one, unlike the other one, is very kind of clear on what exactly we're going to be doing. The other event's a little more mysterious, if you catch my drift. But Mystery Booster 2 is such a large card pool, so I feel like this event will be much more random than a normal sealed event like a pre-release, just because you'll have no idea what kind of deck your opponents will have. Oftentimes in other sets, when you do pre-releases, you kind of know what the overarching mechanics are. Maybe you know what the strong colors are going to be in sealed, and some people even practice doing these sealed events. So it's exactly what to expect. But with this, I have no idea. The card pool is so vast. I mean, there's also so many cool cards that you can pull out of these booster packs, and I'm just really excited to open Mystery Booster 2. Even if I get nothing cool and my deck is terrible, I'm just really excited to open it and play it.
Yeah, same here. I normally, when I go and do a pre-release, I'll at least do a little bit of homework. Maybe I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm not one of those dudes that's going to sit there and run through Draft Sim, 20 times. I'll do it once or twice just so I can get like a little bit of an idea. But familiarize yourself with the set, at least at the minimum, like the new mechanics. So that's like the biggest thing with all these new sets, is they're always something new that you got to familiarize yourself with. Mystery Booster 2, like you said, it covers so much that how do you even really prepare for something like this? And I feel like in the end, there's not really too much you can do except just get excited and just be ready to expect the unexpected, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right, so let's move on to our second and final ticketed play event that me and Adam are signed up for. So this is going to be Saturday at 2:30, and it is Secret Layer Redacted. So, little description: we are excited to bring Secret Layer Redacted to MagicCon Atlanta. This is an event you won't want to miss, featuring Redacted, where players will information redacted battling with information redacted. Why? You could even win a redacted. Knowing all that, how could you not want to join in? All right, so as a note, this is an upcoming Secret Layer non-commander pre-constructed product. So basically what I'm gathering from it is that it's probably going to be pretty similar to any other limited type of event that you do, like pre-release. It could be a draft. I don't know too much about it. It does say pre-constructed. I don't know if that means that there's going to be any sort of deck building aspect. I really don't know what to expect, but I do know that this is one of those events where you get to keep the cards, and if they're all secret layers, yes, please. Hopefully they're all new, even if it's some of the old ones. Even if we get our little a second copy of my Swords to Plowshares. I'm so looking forward to this. Adam, what are you thinking?
Well, I have two thoughts about this. So obviously we have no idea what to expect with this. Thomas said this is going to be sort of like a limited, pre-release type environment, but I'm not even sure we know that much. But my two thoughts are: this is either perhaps some sort of what's it called, jumpstart. Like this is some sort of maybe jumpstart secret layer type product where you're given two pre-constructed products, and then you smash them together and make a sealed limited deck, or it's something like the Chaos Vault, where you get pre-constructed packs made out of cards from the Chaos Vault at the time, or at certain times. Um, I'm just really excited to get access to a Secret Lair product that we're gonna find out about the moment of. Like, that's just so exciting to me. I don't. And I mean, imagine the possibilities. I mean, what if it's a Secret Lair Dan deck? Like, what?
That would,
There's so many.
dude,
There's
that would do it for me. That's all I have
That
to
would be
say.
awesome. But who knows what this could be? I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, just when it comes to speculation, I don't see a reason why they would do anything too constructed, because I feel like the whole point about some of these play events is like you get like they're not just going to give you a deck and say good luck, play with it, have fun. There's going to be some aspect of personalization, or I don't want to necessarily say deck building because we don't exactly know. I think Jumpstart was actually a really good idea there, where it's mashing maybe two bigger packs, whatever it may be. But I'm just really intrigued as to what the contents, like whatever it is that they give us, what the contents are going to be, because some of the stuff they've been releasing recently, mostly is normal, like the run of the mill Secret Lair stuff, but they also do their commander decks sometimes, and that's a full like 100 card Secret Lair. So some of the cards in there, nothing too crazy. So I feel like we're going to see some of that, where some of the cards are going to be, this higher tier of Secret Lair cards, like higher quality, however you want to describe it. And then a lot of them are maybe going to be your baseline, like your, I guess what you would call the bulk of those commander decks that they release, something around that level. So that's a little bit of what I'm expecting, but really it's I'm just excited for the unknown. I think it's honestly the same thing with the mystery booster. I think that's why these two really called our names, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, in this one, in the tournament details, it talks about the round setup is a maximum 7 rounds. They are 30-minute best of one Swiss rounds. And that's totally foreign from what you'd expect from a pre-release event where there's what, 3 or 4 50-minute best of 3 Swiss rounds. And this tournament also features a cut to the top 8. So after this, the maximum of 7 Swiss rounds are complete, then the top 8 will compete against each other, I suppose. And I'm really excited because they're giving away a playmat just for participation. So that might be pretty cool. And then also I guess they're gonna release prizes for the top 8 on Saturday morning. So we'll be able to see hopefully what prizes we're gonna be competing for before we get to go to the event. But yeah, this is gonna be so cool.
Adam, they actually do list what those prizes are, and it says right there it is information redacted. So
Oh
I think
yeah.
so. I think that's something to be really excited about. Something to look forward to. And keep your eye out for when we start posting stuff, afterwards. But for sure, that playmat. I'm glad that you mentioned that too, because I believe we get a playmat just for going to the event. Period. We get a playmat and matching sleeves. But the Secret Lair playmat.
Yeah, who knows if we'll be able to get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
Might be an
So
exclusive.
that's going to be so much fun. So with that, those are the 2 ticketed play events. So those are the ones you have to pre-register for. There's a few open play stuffs. The reason why those are actually like ticketed is because you get to keep the cards that you play with. There's some other free play stuff we might get into later, but
And worthy of note is both of, as far as I know, both of these ticketed play events still have open slots. So if you're watching this the week before and you're coming to MagicCon Atlanta and you don't have any ticketed play events at these times, feel free to jump in and get a slot in these, where I would recommend. They both look pretty cool.
yes, definitely. And for the Secret Lair one, just so you guys know, there's still 6 more spots in that top 8, since you know who 2 of them are going to be taken up by. So, we hope to see you guys. We hope to see you guys there. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and move on. Adam, would you like to introduce the other two events that we will be attending?
Yes. So one of the other things you can do with these Magic Cons are these panels. Um, so if you couldn't already tell, this is Thomas and I's first Magic Con ever. So we have no idea what to expect for pretty much any of these events. So far we've scheduled and allotted some time for two of these panels. Um, and both of these are on Friday. So the first one is, like I said, on Friday, 1:45 to 3 p.m. on the Mana stage. And this is the preview panel. So this is probably going to be a totally full auditorium for this. And the description reads, "This is the ultimate in the know panel for the ultimate Magic fan. Be among the first to learn about new sets coming in 2026, awesome progress coming soon, and Lorwyn Eclipsed coming in January. The first look at Lorwyn Eclipsed is going to get dark just before we shed some light on the nearly full 2026 calendar, including some set announcements you won't want to miss." So this event has a bunch of guests like Mark Rosewater, Gavin Verhey, and they're just going to be talking about what sets are coming in 2026, which I think we're both really excited for, and we'll get to be part of the group that gets the first look at this MagicCon. What do you think, Thomas?
Yeah, no, I'm very, very excited. I was gonna say Lorwyn is the only set that I am aware of at this moment that's coming out. I feel like they've been kind of keeping some things under wraps because, at least for the next couple months, right? So we've known about Spider-Man for quite a while. We've known about Avatar for way too long without getting any additional information. So they kind of had the end of this year, filled out. All that was out. But 2026 and beyond is honestly a mystery, and it's everyone's best guess at this point. I think that the one thing I'm expecting to be a big focus is going to be these universes beyond sets. It's really they've been ramping it up a lot recently. I mean, just think about the fact that we're getting Spider-Man and Avatar like back to back after getting what else this year?
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy right before that, right? So I think that that's going to be a big focus. We're going to see a lot of new things. The something with Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon obviously has this big deal with Wizards now. It's where we're getting Avatar. It's where we got those SpongeBob secret layers. So I wouldn't be surprised to see another Nickelodeon franchise, make a little appearance here. But other than that, I really don't even know what to expect.
Phineas and Ferb set coming.
Phineas and Ferb, that would be something. I can't even think. I mean, like just some like Nickelodeon shows. SpongeBob could get its own set, right? Probably not. They already did the secret layer, so I don't know what else. Like, there's only so much you can do with SpongeBob.
Yeah, I'm curious. I wouldn't expect a full set from any of the Nickelodeon deals, but I'm not Wizards.
Yeah. Korra. That's one thing I probably will say. I don't know if it's something we'll get soon. I expected Legend of Korra to be more of a secret layer type of drop, but we'll see what comes into fruition there. It's not like they don't have any limited, you know, pool of resources to pull from. Korra has a lot of unique, since it's an entire generation after, Aang's time being the Avatar. There's a lot they could do there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they followed it up like a little part two or something.
No, those are. I mean, that's totally valid. I wouldn't be shocked to or
Is
no.
that a reference? Two
I
damage for
would be
one red
shocked to
mana?
see another. I would be shocked to see another offshoot of Avatar as like a full set, but I do agree a secret layer from any of this Nickelodeon stuff would also be pretty cool.
The
I'm
Paw
assuming the
Patrol.
SpongeBob secret layer did pretty
Though
well.
the Paw
Ooh,
the Paw
Paw
Patrol
Patrol,
set, yeah, that would do numbers. The
that
iCarly,
would
the
go crazy.
iCarly.
Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Hey, a guy could dream.
Moving on. So the next panel that we're going to be going to is it actually starts 30 minutes after the preview panel concludes, and it is the Secret Lair reveal party. So this is from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. also on the Mana stage. And the description is, what do you get when everything's a surprise? It wouldn't be a secret if we told you, but it's wall-to-wall surprises in the biggest drop till we drop secret lair panel, introducing you to all the upcoming hotness from Universes Beyond and so much more. So this one is just a reveal panel for what's coming soon with Secret Lair. So I'd be surprised to see if since they're doing a Secret Lair only panel, I would be shocked to see the Secret Lair stuff in the other preview panel. But this does mention that we're going to get some Universes Beyond Secret Lair stuff, which, Universes Beyond Secret Lairs always are pretty cool in my opinion. I personally like them a little more than the Universes Beyond sets, but that also is a take that probably will get me slandered, because I'm sure people love the Universes Beyond sets, which is why they print so many of them. But this one will be cool. I'd be surprised that they can talk about new Secret Lair stuff for an hour, but I don't know. I think this will be a cool one to go to for sure.
Yeah, you're going to notice a little bit of a trend between these panels, the ticketed events. I am so excited for this. Secret Lair, like that is really like what does it for me. And just as a little tangent, I find it kind of crazy that some Secret Lair stuff, even just going to like regular sets like alternate art stuff, can be worth less than the regular versions of cards, because I love to pimp my deck out, and Secret Lair does that, right?
Yep.
On top of all the other really cool stuff they do, like Pixel Perfect, charitable stuff that they do, which is really awesome. But I'm super excited for this. To your point, Adam, about the Universes Beyond sets, I think the reasons why those seem a little bit more disappointing than just the Secret Lairs is because they have to, it's a lot of filler that just has to go in. Like, it's a set. You're gonna have some bulk rares. You're gonna have some just terrible commons. You're gonna have Doc Oct tentacles, right? but no, yeah, the Secret Lair Universes Beyond little kits, I guess we'll call them, are usually just filled with some really, really either strong cards, beautiful art, fun little hints, nods to shows, whatever they're going
All
off
gas.
of, and I love it. Yeah, so I'm super excited for this. Again, we haven't been to MagicCon before. I don't know if this is something normal that they do, but this is definitely, I'm super into it. I was really hoping after Edge of Eternities that they were going to do a Star Trek Secret Lair. I'm still holding out hope, so maybe they'll say something here. That's going to be the biggest thing that I'm just going to be holding my breath for, is Star Trek Secret Lair. Please, please, please.
Well, I mean, there were some pretty convincing leaks in regards to that, to a Star Trek Secret Lair. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, it made too much
mind blowing
sense
for that to happen. Yeah, no, that's fair.
But I mean, at this point, I just don't know.
It's been a while since we saw those leaks, so
yeah,
it
true.
It could very well be not true. But I'm holding out hope for you.
Thank you. Yeah, and everyone should too. Please, everyone in the comments, Star Trek Secret Lair. Let's make the push. Let's make the push. Start the revolution.
Everybody tag Wizards in the comments. Blow this video up.
Yeah. Like we need it. It's for us. They care about. I know that Wizards cares about the player. I know it in my heart.
For sure.
But all right. So Adam, would you like to get into some of the other things to expect out of the weekend? I know there's one big collaboration that we have on deck. Would you like to shed a little bit of light on that?
Yeah, so we are meeting up with Drew and Graham from Sideboard Therapy. We're probably going to be playing some Commander with those two, and hopefully we'd like to even put out. Oh no. Yeah, we're gonna be playing a couple Commander games with those guys, and meeting up with them at the con, and we're really excited to meet them. We've been talking with them about all kinds of stuff related to Magic and the con, and so we're excited to meet up with them and see what's going on. Another thing that we're going to be looking to do is just generically running around all the booths, meeting up with artists, and trying to get cards signed. So I've got a small pile of cards that are for my Most Dangerous Gamer deck that I'm looking to get signed. They are the 3 Urza lands, which I need to buy the newer, more expensive copies of. And then I've got the Mycosynth Gardens, Nettle Cyst, Bargart Trawler, and the brand new Edge of Eternity's Mutavault that I need to get signed. And then two other more juicy cards that I'm trying to get signed are this Stronghold Mox Diamond and this Dominaria Mox Amber. These are both from my Plague CEDH deck, and I would love to get these signed. I think Thomas also has a few that he's looking to get done as well, and hopefully we have time to putt around and stand in line for all these artist signatures.
Yeah, I don't have a crazy pile. The first sliver, food chain. Maybe if I can get my little secret layer collection there signed. I don't know. I don't know if you guys can tell this about me, but I kind of love secret layers. So that's mostly, yeah, that's mostly what I'll have with me. Um, but I am very excited. I know there's like tons of booths, people selling stuff, and just outside of like the artist signatures, I'm so excited just to see what is offered there, like on the floor. Um, but just outside of that, Adam, I do have a big question for you. And if you had to pick one thing, again, since we've never been, we don't know exactly what to expect. But what is the one thing that you are the most excited for at MagicCon Atlanta?
Well, you know, I do love to travel, so that is something that I thoroughly enjoy. We'll be flying down to Atlanta a day early, but and obviously the events we're doing are awesome. But and this is gonna sound cliche because I feel like everybody says this, but the best part about Magic is the gathering. I'm just really excited to be in a huge building with tens of thousands of Magic the Gathering fans. You know, up until this point, I will probably only have ever been in attendance with, you know, a smaller tournament, and just I've never been in one place with Magic fans on this scale. So I'm really excited to just meet all these people and talk to people from across the nation and probably across the world that have all these different experiences in regards to Magic the Gathering, and just getting to be in that getting to be in that environment, I think is going to be my favorite part. How about you, Thomas?
Yeah, I mean I feel pretty similar too. I'm really excited just to see the community because we know how vast it is, you know, like you said, kind of across like the world. But it takes a special kind of Magic player, you know, to come to these events, and like those are the real ones. Not saying that the people that don't go like aren't real. I love the local scene, but this is just going to be on a different level, and I'm so excited just for 3 straight days of just this is what we're here for. We put everything down just to come do this. There's going to be plenty of other content creators there, and that's leading into what my biggest thing is I'm just excited to, you know, experience it and be able to share this experience too. Now that we were able to get this channel started, so that's what I'm really excited for, is just to like experience it with the community, right? uh yeah, I don't know if that's cliche too or too broad, but that's really where I am at with it.
Yeah, well, I definitely think we're on the same page for most of that. Now, what is one thing that you're kind of hoping to get out of this? If there's one thing that you can think about on your plane ride home, what's it going to be?
Yeah, so this is the biggest thing for me, which has been kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say a struggle, but something that, you know, Adam, I know that you know about me. You've gotten annoyed plenty of times with me, you know, bugging you about different things, but I'm excited to be able to pick people's brains about my decks and to learn stuff about other people's decks and playstyles. Because when you play, you know, at your local game store with your normal group of people, wherever that is, you know, everyone, you learn their playstyles really quickly. You kind of adjust your play style to fit the group depending on what it is, or like, you know, playing up and down. But just to get an idea of some people that I would have, you know, never seen outside of this event, their philosophy, their game philosophy. I One of the most fascinating things for me is the politics of the game, and I think that there are so many different levels to that. And so I'm super excited to see what some other people are doing with their decks, and maybe getting a chance to sit down and you know, you'll pick some people's brain about what I have going on, especially with a couple of the things that I'm bringing. Yeah, that's my big thing. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is gonna sound cliche, but I'm really just hoping to have tons of memories. Um, I'm and I guess a physical embodiment of that will be all the cards that I'm trying to get signed. Um, and I'm really excited because most of these cards are in my pet deck that I like to play every time that I play Magic. Chances are I'm gonna have one of these cards in my opening hand every time I play the deck. So every time I get to pull out one of these cards with a signature on it, I can think about the weekend that I spent in Atlanta, Georgia at this MagicCon. And I'm so excited to be able to bring home a bunch of physical mementos like playmats and sleeves and signed cards that are gonna that every time I pull out my collection or I pull out a deck that I get to play with, I get to think back upon the whole weekend and just think about having such a great time with friends and strangers alike. It's gonna be a good. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have any other kind of closing thoughts? Anything else that you wanted to get off your mind before? I know there's so many things kind of swimming around that we're getting ready for and getting prepared for, but any other closing remarks before we get out of here and then get ready to ship off to Atlanta?
Yeah, just that I'm really excited. If you couldn't tell, I think both of us share that sentiment. I mean, we've never been to any kind of large scale Wizards of the Coast or Magic the Gathering events like this, so we have no idea what to expect. We're going into this totally blind. You know, it, I I cannot stress enough how much fun I'm gonna have, even if I do nothing all weekend but play Commander. Like this is gonna be a great time.
And if you guys are gonna be there, leave a comment. Look out for us. Hopefully, we can get some games in. I know Adam is gonna be dripped out all weekend. He's got some some fresh fits, some stuff in the closet that he's bringing. So if you see some dude with the really nice curly head of hair, really good looking, a little Supreme bag on his shoulder. You know who he is. If you see a dude super tall, dark, and handsome, wearing Yeezys, right? Then come up, say hi, and we'd be so excited to meet you guys if you're going to be there. Anything else, Adam, that you want to say before we call this one?
Yeah, if we have enough fans out there that are going to MagicCon Atlanta, please say hi. We would love to hear from you. Obviously, we're still very small, very small amount of subscribers and followers and whatever. I think we've got less than 100 across all platforms. But if you're going to be there, and even if you're just coming across this video for the first time, throw a comment in. Let us know you'll be there. We'll be on the lookout for anybody and everybody that we can meet.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. We are so excited, hopefully, to see you guys there and just to share the experience with everybody. So, I believe this will be airing 1 week before we actually make it out. So, kind of get ready, get hyped up. All weekend, we're going to be throwing stuff your way. And again, thank you guys so much. We're so excited.
Yeah. Thanks for watching and listening, and hopefully we'll see you in Atlanta.
You guys.